Okay, welcome to 6.5, Applying Systems of Linear Equations. Today what you're going to be presented with are systems of equations, and you have to make the decision, what's the best way to solve them? Should I graph them? Should I use substitution? Remember, we use substitution if one of the two equations has been solved for either x or y. We use elimination by addition if they have the same coefficient and opposite signs. We use elimination by subtraction if they have the same coefficient and the same sign. SSS, same coefficient, same sign, subtract. And we use elimination by multiplication when they neither can be added or subtracted, and you must either decide to multiply the top equation or bottom equation or both. For an exact solution, remember, one of the four algebraic methods is the best method, which would be substitution, elimination by addition, elimination by subtraction, elimination by multiplication. Graphing is nice because it's a picture, you can see it, but it's not the best one to give you the most accurate answer unless you were using a graphing calculator. So let's go ahead and give a little highlight here to what I just said, because that actually is quite important. Okay. And the one method that they didn't mention was a graphing calculator, and that's just because we don't use one. Okay? And I'm just going to take time to walk you through these word problems, because actually they make a lot of sense. And if you just would take one line at a time, it's very simple and very straightforward. So I know it's worked for you, but I'm going to break it down and do it with you. So let's read the problem together. It says, at a baseball game, Henry bought 3 hot dogs and a bag of chips for $14. So basically, a lot of times when I do these problems, I use the first initial of the word. So I would probably use H instead of X, and I would use C instead of Y. But the choice is yours. Scott bought 2 hot dogs and a bag of chips for $10. Each of the boys paid the same price for the hot dogs, and they paid the same price for their chips. How much was the hot dogs and how much were the chips? So let's go ahead over here and let's read it again. Nice and easy. And then let's work the problem together. So here we go. 6.5. I think I am too far down in the, am I too far down in the lesson? I'm in the wrong place, that's why I can't find it. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Alrighty, so Henry bought 3 hot dogs and a bag of chips for $14. He actually got away pretty cheap. Usually you go to those places, a bottle of water is like $5. Okay, so he bought 3 hot dogs and 1 bag of chips, and he paid $14, correct? Scott bought 2 hot dogs, and how many chips did he buy? He only bought 1 bag of chips too? And he paid $10. So what we need to do is find the price of the hot dogs and find how much the chips were. Okay, so if you look at this, I think this is a pretty simple one because we don't have to multiply it. What could we do? Yes, Joseph. We could subtract because we have the chips, C, the variable C has the same coefficient and the same sign. So we have 3H minus 2H is 1H. 14 minus 10 is 4. So the price of a hot dog was how much, guys? Okay, so on the test and in the homework, make sure you give me dollar signs and decimal points. So if a hot dog was $4, we can find the price of the chips. Most of you can probably already see it without me having to substitute it back in, but we can. So we can go 3 times 4, which is 12, plus 1C equals 14. Subtract 12. How much were the chips, guys? $2. Now let's make sure it works in both. Does it? Okay. Pretty simple, right? So let's give you one and let you look at it. So what you need to do is you need to determine the best method. So you need to determine what's the best method. Substitution, elimination by addition, elimination by subtraction, elimination by multiplication. So there's going to be 2 answers here. Which is the best method based on the way the equations are written, and then you're going to do it and solve it. So let's give you one to start. 5x plus 3y equals 16. 3x minus 5y equals -4. Okay, so the question I will pose is this. Do the x's have the same coefficient? Yes or no? Do the y's have the same coefficient? Yes or no? So what are we stuck with? What do you have to do? Multiplication. Elimination by multiplication is the best method. So if you wanted to eliminate the x's, you could multiply the top by 3 and the bottom by 5. If you want to eliminate the y's, why would the y's be a better choice? Who could tell me? Justin? Opposite signs. So we could multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 3. Y'all with me? Let's go ahead and work it. I'm going to let you guys work it. You know how to do this. I'm not teaching anything new here, so give yourself some practice.
Why would you not add? Why did you choose
Well, we have to multiply before we add.
that? Oh, okay.
We had to multiply elimination by multiplication first, then we're going to add. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me freeze it, and you guys can work it. Be careful when you multiply. Remember to multiply everything. $25, 15. 5 times 16 is 80, correct?
Yes.
9, negative 15, y, negative 12. Remember, when you're finding the other variable, just plug it into the original equation, not one of the ones you multiplied, in case you made a mistake in your multiplication. Check your answer in both, even if you do it mentally. You can check with a friend. All right, who has an answer for me? Good job. John, what'd you get?
2 and
2, 2. Anybody else get 2, 2? So first we multiplied, and then we add it, and there's the work. Does anybody have a question on this problem? Yes?
I do it this way.
What'd you do?
So I multiplied for the top line by -3, and I multiplied the bottom line by 5.
Okay, you can do that. Anybody else? Hello? All right. Let's do one more, and then I want to give you plenty of time to work on your homework, actually. Let me just see what I assigned you today. Somebody just read it. We do have some book work. We have lots of problems. What did I give you? Page 1 through 7? Okay. And then from the textbook, yeah, I got the rest. Okay, that's good. All right, let's do one more problem, and we can call it homework time. Yes.
When are you having health classes?
It's on the board, and I read it at the beginning. To X. This is an easy one. What would you do here? 3x minus 5y equals 7, 2x plus 5y equals 13. Let's go. Someone raise your hand. Okay, good job. All right. We are going to be done with this, and that way you guys can